Oh gosh, that's zoomed in. Right, hi, this is the first time I've ever gone live on 2 platforms at once. So please bear with me. I'm all very like, oh, I can see myself everywhere. So I'm currently going live in my Facebook group and also on my Instagram. So hello on whichever one of them you're watching. I will be saving this as well and posting it in the weekly Top Tip Tuesday email as well. So wherever you're watching, hello. So if you watch on Instagram, you'll have seen on my previous story I said I'm going to come and give a tip today about how to reduce the noise in your head. Hi Eleanor. And so that is what I'm going to do. I get asked all the time, how do I stop all the noise in my head? And I totally get what people mean when they ask me this. I remember back in the depths of my darkest days, I would struggle to switch off. So many people would say to me, take time out for you. Hi Steph, gosh, so confusing seeing all the different screens. So many people would say to me like, take time out for you, watch TV, have a bath. And I'm sure, like, give me an emoji reaction if you've heard them things before, where it's like, have a bath, take time out for you. But for me, that was just torture. I just couldn't switch off. My mind was like Lewis Hamilton on the Formula 1 track. If you don't follow Formula 1, it is real fast. So what can you do to empty your head? And it seems really simple, and that just seems to be the case in life. The simplest things are the best, I always say. But it's to empty your head onto the paper. And it is as simple as it says. You just empty your thoughts, empty your head onto, you could call it a journal, but some people get a bit like that word. And it can be really specific, or you can literally just sit and write and just let your mind just empty onto the paper. I always suggest writing rather than typing, because your brain makes more of a connection with pen to paper versus typing. I won't bore you with the science and the NLP side of it, just trust me, okay, and use a pen. And my own experiences is I kind of stumbled upon journaling way back when. I remember as a teenager, got 3 of them at the minute, locking myself away in my room, sticking my Peter Andre cassette on, showing me age now that, and I'd get my diary out and I'd just talk to myself. I'd like recount my day, and I didn't realise back then why I was doing it. I just did it because I'd seen it in films, but it did help me. I would feel like I had a friend living in my diary. Then as the years went on, I used the journal again during my toxic relationship with my ex, because I wasn't allowed friends or to speak to people, especially not without him. So my diary was my escape. It was a place I could have a connection without him. Then when I was in the depths of my darkest days with my mental health, I used my diary again, and I used it to just literally empty my mind. I would talk about my emotions, and other times I would just bullet point a few things, because sometimes it can feel a bit overphasing to be writing a lot, or if you've seen in your past entries you've wrote loads, sometimes it's just enough to just bullet point. And it's particularly helpful for at night time, for when you just can't sleep, when your brain is just not shutting up, because your mind is going through 1,000 imaginary scenarios, or you're reenacting every conversation you've had that day, or you're just, going over a certain event or a certain situation. And that's when I do suggest keeping a journal, even a separate journal or just a little notepad by your bed. And this, you then empty it in the night. So instead of getting up and putting, social media on, or putting telly on, or going and getting to eat, drink it, staying in the bed and reaching for that pen, that pad, whatever it might be. And then you just empty your mind, whatever it is that is going through, that is stopping you from sleeping, just empty it onto that paper. And this makes the brain feel like you've dealt with the situation, because that is what your brain's doing. It is trying to deal with the situation. It's trying to process whatever it is, be it a conversation, be it a made up scenario. It's trying to process it. But this is again why it's important to use the pen, because then when you make that connection and you're literally processing it then while you're writing it, and that sometimes is enough for your brain to go, okay, I'll let you have a sleep now. Not saying it works like an immediate off switch. It might just be enough to calm you so that you can sit in bed relaxed rather than getting up and having to do something. So journaling does really help with lots of things. Like I've just said, the sleeping, it relieves stress, it helps to reduce overthinking, it stops you brooding over situations. So like I was explaining then, if you're trying to get to sleep and you're going over something, it stops that. It helps to regulate your emotions and take better control of them, because you're more aware of them, because you're talking to yourself about them, you're becoming more aware of them, and often that is one of the biggest steps you can take, because then you can get to the bottom of them more. And it can give you clarity. It's great for giving you clarity. I know if I'm ever really stuck on a decision I want to make about anything, be it life, relationships, whatever, I will just journal it. I would say be mindful not to focus on the negative. It's really important that you find and talk in your journal about positive things as well. And start small. Maybe have a specific time of day, a specific place. Like it's really common to do it before bed or just after, or in the first thing in the morning, as well as having one by your bed. That's a really common time to do it. And prompts are really great to use to begin with. So if you're thinking, do you know what, all right, I'll set myself a time, I'll set myself roughly 5 or 10 minutes as well, so you don't find yourself doing too much. But then you might be sat there thinking, I've got all this going on in my head, but I just don't even know what to start with. Where do I start? Like the minefield in there, how do I get that out? So prompts are a really great way. They do exactly what they say on the tin. They're going to give you that prompt. So here's a few prompts that I'm going to give you now that you can try today. So who has inspired you in the past, and what about them has inspired you? And what one piece of advice do you think they would give to you right now? That's a really great prompt. It's got so much within that one. And then another one, this is a bit lengthy. Write down 5 things that make you feel emotional or anxious. 5 things that you can control. 5 things that you can't control, and how you will accept them and move forward. Also, 5 actions that you can take this week to feel more positive. And then lastly, 5 things that you appreciate about yourself and your life. So that one seems lengthy, but it's kind of a quick process, whereas the first prompt would be kind of lengthy. It could take a bit of a while. There's not really, no stop clock on it. So that second prompt, even though it's a bigger one to explain, it is quite a quick process. It's similar to doing the bullets. So let me know if you found them helpful. Let me know if you do them today or over the next couple of days, and let me know how you found them. If you're watching in the group, just do it as a post. If you're watching on my Instagram, just send me a DM? But if you would like to really get into this, if you would like to really get going with journaling, then I do have a Journaling for Mental Health 30-day workshop. It's delivered via a series of emails, and you get that email every day over the 30 days. I don't just give you, here's 30 days, make way through them. It's just one email every day that'll just come out one after the other. And it's where I'll guide and support you in being able to use journaling as a tool for your mental health. So maybe give them prompts a go, see how you get on, and if you think, I want more of this, then that's exactly what you get in the 30-day Journaling for Mental Health workshop. So if you're watching and you're interested in that, again, send me a direct message or just comment with the butterfly emoji and I'll give you the details for that. So that's it. That's Tuesday's top tip. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you think this will be useful to any of your friends or your family who might be struggling with their mental health at the minute, then please do share it with them. You can't share it in my group, but I think you can share it on Instagram. Or you can just send them my way, and like I said, I will save this video and it'll be posted in the weekly email with a link to it on the YouTube then. Okay, first time going live on both things. How do I end them both at the same time? Wish me luck. I have no idea. Do I just press the cross? Oh yeah, there we go. Bye. And share. Oh my gosh, right, I'm going to move this one here while I figure it out, and then say